Hello everyone, welcome to the All You Can Roleplay Twitch channel. My name is André Tavares, the host and the producer of this channel, and today's show, PARIS GONDO playtest. I am here with a beautiful cast, not only cast, but beautiful people around me, around this fictional table, which I also, every time I imagine myself playing with people around, it's better for our immersion. And how's everyone? Is everything okay? Hi.
Everything is
Hi,
great.
very good.
Hello.
Awesome, awesome. So let's start with a very brief presentation of ourselves, and probably we'll be leaving Kalum, which is the designer of tonight's game, for last, like the cherry on the top of the cake. So let's build this beautiful cake, starting with our beautiful Cristiano Tavares. Who are you, Cristiano? What are you doing here?
Well, I don't know, but I'll soon find out.
That's a very
Okay.
good way to start.
Yep. I'm here. I received an invitation from Kalum to try this new RPG that he just made, and it's called Paris Gondo. I'm not sure what is going to happen, but let's just play to find out.
Yeah, way to find out. Seems a very good and interesting principle. So let's change to the very next to me on this side. Next to me, there's our beautiful Sakuruna. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm excited to play this.
Awesome, awesome. Excited to play this. So, for everyone, knowledge, both Cristiano and Sakuruna are recently new designers of the tabletop role playing game. Also, like Kalum, they are designing their own games for very different projects. Sakuruna, I believe, is designing a project for a is designing a game for a project which consists in making games to play far away from each other because of the COVID situation, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And Cristiano Tavares is doing a very Portuguese game about what's your game about, by the way, Cristiano?
It's about the lives of people that live in a little neighborhood. It's called Fadario. It's it's not the typical Portuguese environment, but it exists in Portugal as well, but in other countries as well. Okay, so it's about their messy lives. Okay, so more like that.
Awesome, awesome. That sounds very, very nice. Already played, but you will probably have the opportunity to play it soon when Cristiano throws it to the outside world. So let's swap to the other side of our fictional table. We have Paco from Jimmy S Magazine. How are you, man?
I am very, very happy to be here. Thank you very much indeed for inviting me. This is very exciting.
Awesome. Yep. So, unfortunately, we will not having Paco with different types and modulation of voices.
I tried.
We can create it in our minds.
Absolutely. I can assure you that happens all the time. Like 3 or 4 times at the same time. It's happening constantly.
Constantly. Awesome. And last but not least, we have Kalum from the Rolistes Podcast, which is tonight the designer of Paris Gondo. How are you, man?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I must say, since I did this little panel about tabletop role playing in Lusitania, the Portuguese role playing community has been nothing but short of being pretty awesome. So thank you so much, all of you, for being so supportive and welcoming. And yeah, it's very exciting. It's the very first time that this game, my very first game, is ever streamed. So, wow, thank you so much for having me, Andre.
No problem at all. This is why we are here, to make first things happen and to share this love, right? The love of making and playing tabletop role playing games here. Or to everyone.
Sadly, I won't be sharing my face because my webcam, or rather the bandwidth here in London. It's miserable, so
So let's start by Kalum. I will give you the all the agency and all the main microphone, so you can tell us what the hell is Paris Gondo, the life-saving magic of Iventorying. What does it mean, and how do we play it? And hopefully play it and not die filled with inventory. Hopefully.
yeah, well, the thing is, Paris Gondo. Well, Paris Gondo, the life-saving magic of inventorying. It is a simple, effective method to banish encumbrance forever. Paris Gondo is a spiritual custodian left behind their physical form when they realized it did not spark joy in them. This revered multidimensional organizer will help you, listeners and viewers of this, declutter your gear once and for all through the 6 steps of their play-based Gone Paris method. It will not just free your equipment, it will change you too. You will feel more blessed, or more successes, and get inspiration to complete the hero's journey you want. The method. Now, the objective of the game. The aim of this game is to appropriately pack inventory of adventurers who uncovered wondrous loot items after reaching the last level of the dungeon and defeating their final foe. So we're gonna start where most role-playing games end, and I must say, most they're a bit short of what is happening with those adventurers. So if adventurers hold on to possession which spark joy, they might feel invigorated and satisfied for the rest of their lives. But letting go of less emotionally charged, maybe more useful belongings might prove to be a deadly mistake for the party embarking on their journey home. So, were you able to share our little tabletop tonight, Andre?
Yes, I'll be able to share it everything.
Great. Need to give a shout out to Willem from Ice Cream for Everyone, because he was the one who introduced me to that platform called Miro. It's supposed to be for work, but we can play with it. And yeah, it was an epiphany when I found out about that, because before that I wasn't sure how I would manage to run Paris Gondo online, but here it is. You see, we've got a beautiful chair in the middle. It's inspired by Paris Gondo themselves. They recommend to always keep something very emotional next to you. And stone, which I'm keeping next to me, reminds me of my mother. We're gonna start with the session 0. Gondo teaches us individual invigorating and stimulating experiences are tributary to the well-being of the whole group. And this can be achieved through the virtues of safety practices. In addition to their multi-dimensional experience, Paris Gondo has found that their play-based Gone Paris method was more efficient when popular references were agreed upon as a framework. So, tonight, are we gonna play something children-friendly with references like Adventure Time or Gravity Falls? Or do we want to go just a tad more mature with something like Rick and Morty and Disenchanted?
Oh, damn. Well, I'm comfortable with both options. Although I've watched Rick and Morty yesterday, so yeah, I'm more inclined for that.
It's just in terms of references, in terms of what we are comfortable having in the game. So we won't include anything which is beyond what we would expect in one of those shows. And right now, if one of you players have anything which would make you uncomfortable, you thinking of, and which you think it would be worth telling us about, please do so. It can be really anything. Can be a little phobia. Can be something. I had a player. She had an issue with needles. It's totally fine. Any kind of issue you might have, just let me know now, and we all will avoid that subject.
Okay, should we tell now something that we could avoid? And this game is like as we already heard, the pitch is about Iventorying. So let me see if there's like any object or any item that could somehow trigger me. And everyone should think also on something like this or in the same line.
When you think about that, regardless of what you say now, if something over the course of the game makes you uncomfortable, you will see that under that picture of the stone, which reminds me of my mother, I have included a X card over which you can hover with your cursor. You can drop a little pebble on it. If there's anything which makes you uncomfortable at some point, just hit the X card and we'll have a tiny whiny break, and we'll make sure that we move aside from what made you uncomfortable. On the opposite hand, if there's something you find especially funny or interesting, which spark joy in you, we've got a spark joy card. Drop a pebble as well to express that you're sharing a good experience with the rest of the group.
So you're saying that I should place stones in the sun every time you talk because you spark joy on me?
Oh, bless.
Kind. I think you're trying to get advantages from. I'm not a game master tonight. I'm a facilitator, so you don't need to.
Yeah, indeed.
Try to flatter me like that. But yeah, anything which sparks joy, you can put a pebble on it.
Awesome.
And just something I need to specify: the X card and the spark joy card have no mechanical influence over the game. It's just show or appreciation, or if anything is in an appropriate way. So, anyone has anything to point out?
Well, let's stay out of needles. Just that, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, brilliant. Before we go into the step 1 of the Gone Paris method, I would like to take you all into a little ritual. It's something I do with all the role-playing games I run. I like to put people in the mood. If I run Star Wars, for instance, I have people sing the theme of Star Wars. But tonight, dear players, I would like you all to close your eyes.
Okay, I'm closing.
Close all your eyes. Picture an object which sparks joy in you. It sparks joy because of its value or the circumstances when you acquired it. Maybe it was a gift, or maybe you won it, or maybe it was an heirloom. Concentrate on that feeling which it inspires you. What it feels like when you hold it, when you look at it. How much it weighs, the way it feels when you touch it. Or game. Step 1, the party. Many things differentiate adventurers. Of course, they have different character classes, names, appearances, demeanors, and backgrounds. However, this Gondo teaches us that what makes adventurers unique should not overlook the belongings they are attached to. So now, I'm gonna ask each of you to pick a character class. We've got 6 somewhat classic character classes from all your dungeon crawling games you could imagine: Wizard, Rogue, Bard, Fighter, Cleric, and barbarian. So now what I recommend is to pick one mainly based on how much it inspires you to roleplay that class of character, and how much it inspires you to make up a character on the fly. With that said, there are some tiny differences between those classes. The first main difference is how much each of these class can carry. They all have a maximum encumbrance. As you see here, they are arranged vertically, with on top the one which can carry the lead, your wizard, and at the very bottom the one who can carry the most, that would be the barbarian.
Makes sense.
Balance that out, wizard starts with objects, a starting inventory, which have the best stats, the best scores. While the barbarian's got, maybe he can carry a lot, but he starts with the least interesting object in terms of stats. And right in the middle, you've got bard fighter, which are kind of an in-between. Does any of you has already a class you are interested into?
I'll be the last one to pick. So if everyone has an idea or a concept, just go ahead.
You can be beyond that class. You can make up anything you want about this character, a background, where they're from. Even you can play a penguin if you want. I had a player; she played a penguin bard, and it was quite awesome.
A penguin bard.
I played also a barbarian who came from who was transported from a music festival. So
Nice.
I'm kind of leaning towards the wizard.
yeah, sure, the wizard is a excellent class. So I'm gonna take you there to the left of the board with a little player one post-it. If you could put your name instead of player one on that post-it,
Oh, awesome.
and put also under your name the name you wish for your character. And I'm just showing you all. Can move the cards. They are your starting inventory in yellow.
Oh, this is awesome.
And I invite you to look at this starting inventory. I'm going to explain in a moment why, and get familiar with it a bit, and think of a few details about your character. Actually, what's going to happen next is that I'm going to ask each of you to describe your character to the rest of the group, what they look like, what's their name. Hopefully, they have a cool, kick-ass name, and include in that and what are their demeanors and so on. And as part of this description, I will ask you to include one or two of the objects from the starting inventory. You will all the objects regardless, but I just would like you, as part of the description, to include one or two of them. Because if we include all of them, the description can become a bit tedious.
Yeah.
So, Ko, your guest from the other part of the Iberian Peninsula, what's your character class?
Sorry, you talking to? Sorry, I missed that. Are you talking to me?
What character class do you want, Paco?
I would be very happy to play the bard if that's okay.
Bard.
Oh, why we don't have modulation? Why?
I know.
That would be so good.
I'm kicking myself, I tell you.
The bard is yours. Go ahead and move around your cards. Have a look, come up with a nice name and description, including one or two of your objects. So, next, Cristiano.
If you don't mind, I think I will try the cleric.
Cleric, awesome. Nothing like a cleric. We got a complete party tonight, so it's an advantage actually. When we have so many players, the likelihood of rolling objects, which we have no one to. Actually, we have a full party. It's the first time I'm. Oh no, we're short of a class, but that's fine. Okay, Andre, what do you want to play? We got a rogue, we got a fighter, we
Wait,
got a barbarian.
will you be facilitating or will you choose one?
We'll choose one too.
Yeah, choose first. I'll be the last one.
Oh.
No, don't worry.
I go rogue because I don't think I've played the rogue the playtest yet, so I will be here with the rogue over there. So that means we've got a fighter and a barbarian.
I'm going for the barbarian, as you say.
Yeah. Did that.
An Armstrong barbarian.
There you go. This stage, please ignore the 2 white cards. They will later. So again, just come up with a name for your character, what they're like, and think of maybe the 2 items which are the most noticeable when the first time you meet them.
Let me check barbarian name generators.
I did the exact same thing, so
I was tempted to do that. I'm planning to run this one, if it's approved by the organizer, 12 times at Origins
Wow.
online. To do so, I need to have a nice list of pre-made names and concepts. Okay, but right now I need to create a rogue.
I'm actually going to give my character the name of the same bard I'm playing currently in my D&D game.
Oh. A crossover.
There you go.
Classic flavor with the name of my rogue.
And what are the white cards?
So the white card will be involved later.
Okay.
It will be what, spoiler alert, it will be used to work out what we found to defeat big foe. Then overall, what's recommended during the game is the more you roleplay your characters, the more you make up when you do something like trading cards and so on. The more you describe how your character hands it to another one, the more you improvise interaction, the better the game is. The more it provides a stimulating and invigorating experience to everyone.
Okay, I believe I'm all set up. I'm really loving this platform, this whiteboard software, Miro. Everyone,
It is quite good, yeah.
Just check it out. It's so good. I was instantly hooked by it when I was exploring before the stream, and damn, yeah, awesome.
We played Coming with Willem on this, and it was great because we had a little gaming head and we would feel it. It's really intuitive. We'll be lucky if we don't have any issue with it tonight, because often get ungrouped and so on, but they're fast to solve. Okay, I'm ready. Andre, you're ready, I think?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool, are you ready?
I am absolutely ready.
Okay, Sakruna?
yes, I think I am.
And Cristiano, you ready?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, I think it's a bit easy to always the spotlight last on you, Andre. So, as a facilitator, I'm gonna ask you to introduce your character first.
Awesome. So
to do so, what I recommend to do, and it's the same when you will describe objects, I recommend to take your post-it and put it in the middle of the board over the stone, or it sort of puts it in the spotlight for everyone. And this way you don't have to recrop of you each time.
Yeah, no problem. I'm always like changing the thing, the Miro board. But yeah, it's awesome. I am Frith the Bard. And should I describe both physically my character and the 2 most precious items, right?
Yes.
Yes, so Frith the Bard is a very muscular man, very tall and very muscular. He almost doesn't use his armor or cloth because he's a barbarian. He doesn't have hair on him, not at all. Somehow the wind thrust, the cold wind thrust from the mountains make the airs all go to somewhere else. And he's almost bald, but he has a very curly spark of hair. You know, a very golden, and it's very golden and curly spark of hair in the center of the forehead. Somehow forehead here, like here, you see.
Oh,
Yeah, and what's the most precious thing or the most two precious things he have alongside him is, to check my note, yeah, it's first the wine gourd stolen from the bard, obviously, because wine is sweeter than the beautiful. Wine is sweeter than anything else in life, and when it's stolen, it's even sweeter. It's chef kiss. And the second possession that Frith loves is most thirstful and very used and test axe, which I believe the trident test great axe, which I believe I'm going to name it. I'm going to
Okay, go
name
ahead.
it Victoria, which means like winning, right? Yeah,
If
Victoria.
you pick that text there, you can even put it there.
Yes, I can. Nice.
Perfect to illustrate how it works. Okay. I'm gonna go around the clock, so I'm gonna go next.
Awesome. So I see,
I'm gonna pl-
like the stone is the board. It's like our fictional board.
Yes, yeah. To be honest, I'm considering now. It's not supposed to be a game for people to play online. Although I'm gonna run a lot of online sessions. So if anyone wants to try it for themselves, please go check a link which we will provide, or my Twitter and so on. I will be happy to run a session for you. But yeah, I'm considering to print a matrix or something for people to play on. That could be interesting
Mm-hmm.
with the physical version.
Yes.
We'll see. That depends of how viable that Kickstarter campaign in a year and a half will look like. But tonight, I'm not the game designer. I'm gonna play Snabby McSnab. Oh no! I'm a rogue. He is a filthy, vicious little thing with some teeth, disorderly stuff popping out of his mouth. That's why he speaks like that. And over the course of going through the dungeon, he seemed to have had an obsession with being carrying around a very long rope. It's rolled around him. It's a bit difficult for him to carry around, and you're not quite sure why he finds that so important. But yeah, to him it seems very useful. He's like, I'll never know when you need to go down a cliff or something, or pull something, or have a game of tug of war. And the other thing he's really obsessed over and keeps talking about is honestly acquired gold purse, which he insists that that was acquired very honestly. You can trust me. I did the work. I got the gold. It's mine.
Hmm.
Cristiano, introduce us to your character.
Okay. So Gloin is a dwarf, uh, like Andres' character. He's almost bald, and he has only facial hair, very huge beard, and he has a special love for two items that he carries. They were They were. May I ask? Do the character has to get the items from the dungeon, or he may have them previously?
Or you can have acquired them in the dungeon. Maybe you had even more items and you lost some of them, but at the end of the dungeon, after defeating your final foe, that's what you have left in your inventory.
Okay, and then I will say that he has allowed for his hammer and for his shield. He had left in the dungeon the previous ones that he was using, and he found out that these two were a lot better than the ones that he was using at the beginning. He finds them quite, let's just say, useful, and he's growing some affection about them, and that's it.
Great! Some crew now about your wizard, please.
She's a very skinny old lady with a lot of skirts and a lot of layers of clothing, very long hair, very unkempt also. So sometimes you can see insects crawling around her hair and stuff. Yeah, and my objects will be out of fashion magic stuff. I like this object because it's in the shape of a duck. And yeah, that's what I use. Yeah, and what was it? Unreadable stone tablets. This is very special to me because it tells a story, but it has no ending because I cannot really read what's there. So yeah.
Mysterious.
I'm still looking for that ending. Yeah, that's
Amazing.
it. That's all for now.
Now that we to the member of the party, it's time to discover the dungeon. Paris Gondo has this say about the belongings we cherish. They might be unique.
Did we heard about
We
Don Emilio?
Oh, sorry, Don Emilio. Oh, what have
Don
I done?
Emilio! The tales of Don Emilio.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That did not spark joy. Tales of Don Emilio.
I'm used to rejection artists. I'm used to rejection ever since I left the village where I won the competition, The Village Got Talent. I left to pursue a life of music, and I changed my name. My name became Emilio.
That's amazing.
And now I go around the world in this multicolored costume that sparks as I sing for the joy of everybody else, and as I play my xylophone that always comes with me. So I'm used to rejection, that's okay, I understand.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's a big pebble on the Spark Joy card.
All the
Yeah.
pebbles in the spark.
So,
I accidentally scaled, sorry.
copy paste more pebbles for later. Oh, to the dungeon. Paris Gondo has this to say about the belongings we cherish. They might be unique thanks to their provenance, yet it is the circumstances of their acquisition and their use which truly binds us emotionally to them. So, I'm gonna ask you to tell me what does that dungeon look like in brief detail. Does any of you have some ideas of what this dungeon we just reached the end of was like?
Oh, I know what it looks like. It looks like it could be the most amazing discotheque on the planet. If you take those cobwebs away, and in that little corner there, you put a toilet, some drapes here and there, and a lot of glitter, yeah, that would work.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that would work if we would clean all the gore from the goblins I've just killed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That looks like a
totally.
bit unholy.
Yeah, uncouth. uncouth.
Yeah, but your wine is good.
Yeah, it could be a nice disco with all those stairs. I'm happy I took my rope.
How this
Great to climb down the stairs.
Yeah, a lot of stairs. A lot of stairs.
can
Stairs
see.
everywhere.
Yeah, I can see the stage now.
What were sort of the interactions within the group when we went through the dungeon? Did we had any emotional connection between some of the characters, or on the contrary, some disagreements? Gloin, how do you get along with Ophora?
Well, let's see. I believe so. Aphora.
Yes.
Okay, she's a wizard. She's a spellcaster, just like me. So I will say that we have grown some friendship among us. So and we just watch out each other's back all through the dungeon. So yeah.
Mean that you look down on barbarian and the rogue who are not spellcasters, or even on the bard who I guess does magic, but is it really magic?
Yeah, well, I believe so. So it does have some effect in people, indeed. And I really find it amusing the way that the bard confronts his enemies with how do you say it? How do you pronounce it? Xylophone?
Xylophone.
Xylophone, yeah.
Xylophone. Yes, it's
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
it's a wonderful instrument.
I have an idea. We can have a bet, like our characters, Frith and Gloin, can have like a bet. That's why they are together. Imagine this: Frith bets that your beard will be cut before his spark of hair, and that's why we are together, to see who loses the bet.
Okay, so you are betting that I will get just a sprinkle of facial hair?
Oh, you will lose your beard before I lose my my spark of air. That's the bet.
Oh, okay.
Because you are a
Okay,
dwarf,
okay.
you are not great and mighty as Frith the Myth.
Okay.
If I had muscles, I would show, but I don't have.
Stabby McStab is kind of frustrated because over the course of the adventure, several times he said, "Hey, behind you, the mouth!" And he was frustrated that there was confusion between Frith and Dol Emilio when he was calling for the bath. Sometimes it would be Barb or the Bard. And Stabby McStab resents you two a bit for that. The bath!
The bath. Which one are you calling, you little lump of thing?
Bath!
Damn you!
I have never heard anybody who could not even hit a tune while speaking. Every single note through your voice is just so wrong. I can't believe that. You are a portent.
I cannot wait to be done with this so I don't have to hang out with you anymore.
Ugh.
Flora,
nosy.
tell me, so we defeated the final foe in this dungeon, the big boss. What was this big boss like?
Uh, it was a noble who, how do I say it, has been kind of transformed. So he's in like a weird shape, like upside down on the walls in the ceiling, and we had to like kill him with a ranged weapons and stuff like that. It was very weird looking thing.
Want some details to add to that?
My axe is a range weapon. that happened, obviously. That happened. And maybe the dwarf.
On the roof, like he was in the roof. I just thrown my hammer up and waited him to come down.
So this is like
Eventually as well.
is this dungeon an underground disco from a noble who was somehow transformed into something else
I can see that.
Seems so, yeah.
that uses goblins as bodyguards?
Really other things too, but I think what really matters for all of us is what kind of treasure this noble living in an underground discotheque was keeping. So we are about to enter the third step of the Gone Paris method, the loot. The play-based Gone Paris method enables a definitive numerical classification of all looted items. However, an evocative name, such as the gold cast slippers of Midnight Pantry Red, and a colorful description are the true paths towards an invigorating and stimulating life. So, I'm gonna ask you each, as you have noticed already, we mentioned it, each of you's got have 2 looted item white cards. So, for each of those looted item cards in your possession, I will ask you to roll 4d6.
Christian,
Those
can you
are
roll
the
for me?
result of those.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
So the result of those rolls, in this order, defined. So the result of your first d6 will be the encumbrance of your looted item. Result of your second d6 will be usefulness of your looted item. The result of the emotion value
No problem,
of
Sarah.
your
Welcome
looted
back.
item.
Sorry, Kalum.
The f-
Sarah just went to the voice channel of the Discord channel, so she's back. She's already back. Can you go like
Problem.
a couple of seconds
Okay.
back?
So you roll 4d6 for each of your white cards. Of those 4d6, the first one will be the score of your encumbrance.
Mm.
The second one, the score of your usefulness. As you see, we're going down on the card. Will be the emotion of your looted item. And the fourth one will be the affiliated class. As you see, there's a little list under. So if you roll a 5, for instance, please replace the TBD with cleric. If you roll a 1, replace the TBD with wizard, and so on. And finally, the fifth one, you don't roll a dice for this one, is the affiliated usefulness. You just calculate double the score of your usefulness. The reason for that is that if someone with the right class is in possession of the right item, the usefulness of that item is doubled.
Okay, let's may explain some things about the bot. We should roll one die at a time, because automatically the bot organizes the number in a specific order from the higher to the lower. So we have to roll one at a time.
Okay, yeah. One of a time, yeah. The bot is too
Please,
smart for us.
Yeah, it's exclamation point, the number of dice, and the type of dice. So we will only have to throw one at a time. So it's just like Andrea just did.
Yeah, and I remember I can roll on the phone, so no problem. I can roll. Yay! So I have like, for example, I have a 4. How can I write stuff on the TBD? If I double click on TBD, I can change. What is it? Oh, yes, I can. This is awesome. Let's fill the chat with rolls. I've usefulness. Emotion. And should we do this twice for each looted item? Are you there, Kalum? Maybe Kalum is not here.
Oh, I'm back. I was muted here. You roll. So you rolled 4d6 once per card.
Yeah. Barbarian.
Fill mine and to you. What that means?
Do-do-do-do-do. 2. Rolling.
Oh, I've rolled some other good objects. I like to roll poorly. It's more fun.
Orly is also good. To fail is to create fiction. The bot is like, what is happening? So many rolls.
Otherwise, you can use the dice in Pro as well. There's a dice master. You need it at the bottom of the screen, and you just 4d6 and your pseudonym.
Yeah.
It will create a little post-it. The result.
Oh, that's awesome. I can install something here. Oh, we have a dice roller here. Okay. Whoa.
Nice, I rolled twice.
Whoa. Yeah, mirror
Which one
is
should
awesome.
we use? From Myros or the one from Discord?
I've used the one from Discord, but I will use the one on Myro from now on because it's just good. It's interesting. I will make a test roll here just to see thing happen. It creates a.
Suppose it's with your name on it. Your name.
Well, it's actually asking me to install something, so I won't.
It might be the add-on. It might not be there by default. Yeah.
So I'll keep using the bot from Discord.
Are you working out your dice roll? Let me explain what it's all about. So you rolled some scores. And you're gonna have to come up with a description for a cool name and a description for this object. And the description for this object should reflect the score that you have rolled.
Mm-hmm.
So now you might be wondering, well, what does that mean? A 3 or 4 or 5 or 6? Well, we got a table here above the stone, which reminds me of my mother, which can give you a little bit of references. But let me read some element from it. So first of all the values go from 1 to 6. So encumbrance of 1, for instance, it's something extremely easy to carry around, like a ring or a pendant or a small dagger or a hat. The handle of a lightsaber would be a 1. It really doesn't take much space in your inventory. On the opposite, a 6 would be something like a piano, a very large coffer, the Ark of the Covenant from Raiders of the Lost Ark, a marble statue, that would be a 6 for you. Or an animal which is really uncooperative to move with you. Usefulness. The usefulness of 1, well, that could be a rock or half a... It's still useful, you know, you can throw it at something to break it, you can hit someone with it, you can do a few things with a rock. I guess you can you can roll some dough with it. I mean, it's a usefulness of 1. It's not very useful. A usefulness of 6 would be something like the sharpest sword ever seen, a magical rope, fireball scroll, something pretty amazing. Yeah, something a lockpick that even the barbarian could use. And usefulness as this thing of having the affiliated usefulness, those scores are doubled if you're the right class. So this lockpick, which a barbarian could use in the hand of a trained rogue, it would be even more truly amazing because it could go as high as 12 in usefulness, or 8 or 10. If you go in the middle ballpark, a 3 usefulness would be a crossbow. I mean, some bow with arrows. It's quite useful. I mean, it's a good weapon. It's not mind blowing, but it's quite good. Finally, emotion, and Paris Gondo would tell you it's probably the most important stats. Emotion of 1, it doesn't matter that much. It's the color is matching the color of your eyes. I guess it's nice. A emotion of 3, well, it was some heirloom passed on to you by your father. Emotion of 6, that's truly amazing. It's like Robin Hood's bow. It's like AD20, which Matthew Mercer used on Critical Role.
Okay, awesome.
A little clarification for the emotion. The emotion applies to everyone. So if we passed on an object, the emotion won't change. So feel free to give a personal reason why you're attached to an object, but when you get if you pass on the object to someone, when you get the object from someone else, well, it's interesting to come up with an explanation why you are attached to it. So if someone says, oh, this got an emotion of 3 because actually it reminds me of my mother, whose name was Martha. If you take that object from that person, you say, oh, wait a minute, my mother's name was Martha too, and it reminds me of my mother too. With that said, well, it's my turn. I need to have a look at my own object and their value. But yeah, please have a look at your 2 objects, come up with a cool name and a short, cool description. You don't have to type it all, but just have something ready to describe to the other players.
Okay.
It's awesome. Damn. And we should name it, right?
Yes.
And give like a small description.
Yes.
So emotion 6, it's like something really crazy, right?
Yeah, it's maximum. Most emotional thing it could be. It's the Holy Grail. It's Excalibur. It's name it. And of course, take into consideration the affiliated class of the object. With
I
that
think I
said,
have one.
barbarians can have instruments. The nice set of granite drums for barbarians at another session.
The what? Sorry, can you repeat?
We had some drums, some djembe made out of granite by barbarian at another session. So feel free to have instruments for the classes or weapons for wizards.
Yeah,
Or
the first one I've written was a trumpet. So yeah, I'm on that line. I believe that the trumpet is what I think it is. Let me check. Trumpet. Yes, it is.
How many of these items are we rolling? 1 or 2?
two of them. 2 white cards you have.
Okay. thing.
Oh my god. So I rolled a very good item and a very bad item. Mwah!
Perfect.
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 Perfectly balanced. Let me see what I will create.
Kalum, can you please lend me a bit of help here? Because I'm not being able to name my second item.
No problem.
Thank you.
Let me check. Just name it and then I will group them again. It's
Okay. I have my items.
I'm also set up. I believe I am set up.
like yours, fifth
Sorry, say Kalum?
all items look very interesting. Doing a little tour of everyone. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am.
Kruna, I didn't hear you.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, everybody's ready?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, let's start with Dor Emilio. So please introduce the group to put your one of your. I mean, you can pick which of your two items you introduce us first.
Okay.
So, introduce us to one of your two items. Explain how Dor Emilio finds it after having vanquished our final foe, and tell us what it is.
Well, I actually found this in the middle of the battle with our insanely powerful overlord. That was heroic to be able to find it. And he had these two hammers, mighty heavy, I might add, and ones that I will not be able to handle properly. But the wonderful sound of drumming that it makes as it smashes the enemies, it reminded me of a sweet, sweet lullaby that my mother used to sing to me when I was a little boy. The rhythm of the hitting of this horrendous enemy.
Great.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise. Playing in the streets, gonna be a madman someday. You mop mud on your face, big disgrace. You kicking all over the place, singing. And that my mom used to send me to sleep, so it reminds me of that. However, I cannot possibly wield this properly. And I could see the little tear of joy and happiness in the barbarian's face when he saw this beautiful hammer and thinking, this is the closest thing I've ever gonna be to making poetry. So I just have to give them to you because I think the world will be a better place with the sound of your harmonious smashing.
Oh,
It. Well, take back your item, and we're gonna go anti-clockwise. Aphora, present
Hi.
us to one of your items, please.
Uh, I'll present this one. Oops.
Someone?
the lazy slug.
Yes. My item is a slug who has to be carried like this at all times because
It's lazy.
it's constantly sleeping. And I really like it because, it's squishy. I like squishy things.
Its goal in life is to sleep.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that sums it up pretty well.
Awesome. Very
Great.
direct and effective.
Cool.
And next is Gloin the Cleric. Tell us what you found, how you found it, and what it is.
Um,
One of your two objects.
okay, I'll introduce the invisibility cloak. Okay, so it's quite funny the way I found it. It was after a battle in the dungeon, and in one corner there was a skull hovering in the air. It has nothing underneath it, and I thought, what the hell is going on here? And when I approached, I uh, I put my hand out and tried to feel what was under it, and I realized that something was there, but it was not visible. And when I sensed it was some kind of cloth, I put it off, and I saw that was a skeleton with a cloak on it, and I just loved the feel of it and the effect of making things invisible. So I just kept it, but I was not able to use it because it's not very handy to fight with a cloak as big as this one. So I just kept it, and I'm thinking about to giving it to someone that could really use it. And I think that we have a rogue in our party, so
I think
uh,
Stabby
I
Max. Go ahead, sorry.
really think that he will enjoy it. Though it seems like a dress because it's huge for his size. So let's see.
Actually, Stabby Max Stab, when he sees the ability cloak you discovered, gets very excited because he realized that, wait a minute, that invisibility cloak. That was not any invisibility cloak. It belonged to Harry the Potter. This guy was trafficking weed all over the continent thanks to this invisibility cloak.
Nice.
I mean, he was probably providing this discotheque with the
Booze.
good stuff. Eight. Well, as he says that, well, I wish I had found something as exciting as you. Just found this. And he shows you like a dagger, which seems so common. The design is so boring. And actually, Stabby Max Stab explains the story of this weapon. It's kind of known because it's been mass produced, but it was a failure commercially because this weapon, okay, it's deadly. This weapon kills at every hit. It's a single step kill, boring dagger, but it's so boring. The design is so bland, so lame, and to be honest, killing someone with a single stab. There's no art to it. It's kind of killing the business. I mean, I could use it, but yeah. Uh, if I don't know, if only to give it a color or a curve or something. I don't know. With Bart,
So
you introduce us to one of your objects.
I will. We'll be going around again, right?
Yes.
So I will start with this one. Totally inspired by Doremilio tales. Let me tell you the tale of how I acquired this small
I can't hear
chameleon
you.
head. Can you hear us, Paco? I believe Paco doesn't hear us. Does anyone hears me?
Yeah.
Can hear you.
Okay. Let's see if Paco is resetting. Are you back, Paco? Can you hear us? No? Cristiano, if you could try to help me text-wise, or let me see if I can help somehow. Or Paco. Oh, I have Paco upside down in my...
I don't know what happened there.
We can hear you now.
You
Yeah.
are again.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So, totally inspired by Doremilio, I will tell you the tale of how I acquired this small chameleon head. And I show it to you. It's a very small chameleon head.
Oh,
So,
this is lovely.
I was walking in the dungeon, exploring it with you. All folk, tiny folk, big folk, old folk, and something folk. And he points at the row, obviously. And I saw a goblin. And he tries to make like beautiful words, but he doesn't have the grammar for it. So I saw a goblin. I shook the goblin. I shook it again. And I was taking his life with my own hands. I saw this head coming from his pockets. And it was pink. I grabbed and look at it. This small chameleon head. It's pink. And why is it pink? I don't know.
Your skin is pink. That's why you're holding it. So that's why it's pink.
My skin is not pink. My skin is the color of myth from the barbarians of the mountains.
It's pink.
For someone who doesn't know how to say barb.
Can't say Bob. Can you tell us? We're gonna go in reverse. Can you tell us about your second object?
I will tell you the second
Reverse.
tale.
And finish with
Yeah, so
Emilio.
I will tell you the second tale. The tale, a very beautiful one. So, in this dungeon, in this underground disco, from this noble guy, there was a room, and in this room, this locked room, very, very reinforced locked room. Nothing can stop a barbarian from finding the loot. I broke the door with you, all behind me. Can't you remember it? Maybe you open it with your things. I don't remember. Anyway, there was a chest. I broke the chest because that's all the good things I can do is break things.
Was a good chest. You broke it, you idiot. I've kept the chest.
The chests are made to be broken. Even the ones that bite you. Take that lesson in. So, inside there was this beautiful trumpet, the holy trumpet that the barbarians should use to call the spirits of their ancestors. I took this holy trumpet and I use it. The sound was nightmarish. It was not the holy trumpet. It was the nightmarish white gold trumpet. The trumpet of the angry ladies. The sound it produced was from all my ex-girlfriends and even boyfriends I left behind. And I couldn't sleep. I couldn't move. This is nightmarish. But not only for me. So the trumpet is on my back. Like the bag that I hate. I have two bags. A bag that I like and a bag that I hate, apparently.
We'll find out about that in a bit. Going backward, my second object. Hey, you idiot! Behind those doors, you forgot something. It's big. It might be nice. I don't know. And using his very long rope, Stabby Backstab starts pulling something. Hey, help me! Help me pull that out.
Oh.
You see on some kind of mechanical wheels, but the wheels are creaking. A gigantic mechanical elephant. Look at this! It says it's the sound equalizing mechanical elephant of the Army du Soleil. I've heard people tremble when the horns and chants of Army du Soleil approaches. It's really a sight to behold. It's scary. But for some reason, these colorful warriors, they find it very important that their chants are normalized, compressed, and got a noise removal applied. The audacity. But that's something good. You should like that, the bard.
I do.
I don't.
Oh.
Listen. We have to try using your trumpet with this elephant, because I think that may equalize everything and bring joy instead of nightmares. Maybe.
Hold on, the elephant is
Night-
mine. I found it.
Nightmarish joys.
The cleric, what is your second object?
It's the rock. Black rock.
Black rock.
So let's say, how did I found this object? I would just all the party exploring this disco dungeon, okay, and something sparkled along the way, and I was not quite sure what it was, so I approached very carefully because I thought it was a trap, and then that sparkle just caught my attention, and I grabbed it, and it is something that it's quite I will say not useful to me, but it reminds me of something. It's like the first stone that I found before I was a cleric. I was a miner, and this stone is quite beautiful. I just love it. It's perfect. It has no other color than black. It's completely black. Really, no veins of any other color. So I found it just like onyx. So I grew fond of it, but I really do not know for what it's is useful for. So I want to keep it, but I don't know what shall I do with it.
Where that black stone you found, when I look at it, it reminds me of the first stone I found when I became a rogue.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, well, Flora, have a look. What does this stone remind you when you look at it?
Well, make sorry. It reminds me what the feelings I had when I found my first one, my first valuable stone, and I really like it. I want to keep it. It's mine. It's my precious.
Great. Flora, tell us of your second object.
So my second object is a beautiful slice of lemon cake. and that I must protect it at all costs because it's so beautifully made that I cannot eat it at all. Even if I'm starving, I will never eat it.
Well.
Finally, last but not least, Dor Emilio, what was your final object?
My final object is something called the Barrel of Unending Need, which is a barrel. It's quite bulky. Is a big barrel, and it's incredibly useful because it contains the sweetest, nicest,
Please have me.
most mellow, incredible. I mean, it's just like drinking honey that makes you a little bit drunk, but not enough, and makes everybody around you really happy. And it never, ever ends. And I remember, it was in the corner, but as I saw it as we were fighting, and I took a ladle out of it, and we were all so much happier, so much happier. But even our enemy became a little bit happier and a little bit tipsy, so he had it a bit harder to fight. And that is how our barbarian managed to hit this fantastic, I mean, it was so poetic to hear the harmonious sound of his bones breaking under the hammers as he died in the peaceful happiness that this never-ending barrel of mead brought it. It was just so beautiful, so beautiful. Could cry now.
When you're crying, we're all drinking.
It's just tears of joy and beauty, happiness.
Amazing. Thank you so much for all your cool objects. It's time to move into step 4, the life-saving magic of inventorying. Trade and amicable exchanges shape the final key to our emotional ties with our belongings. With this key in hand, all you have left to do is to look at each item one at a time and decide whether or not to keep it. Does it spark joy? If your answer is no, unequip it. So, quite simply, as I was mentioning, you've got a maximum encumbrance. It's very likely your starting inventory was already matching that maximum encumbrance. So it's time to decide what you're going to keep, what you're not going to keep in your inventory. You cannot have a total of objects having a total encumbrance exceeding your maximum encumbrance. It must be equal or below that. And the lower it is, the more chances you are to survive individually, because if you're a hoarder trying to get out of a dungeon, well, chances are some of your objects might get caught in a trap or something. So better not carry too much. But I mean, if you carry just as much as you can, it's all right. Second thing is the total usefulness. So you make the sum of the usefulness of all the objects you have. If you're wearing an object which is of your affiliated class, use the affiliated usefulness instead of the regular one. Go very high. The usefulness will help us as a group to survive, because we're going to make an average of that. So it's in the interest of everyone that everyone is as useful as possible. Finally, the emotion. Again, you make the total of your emotion, and each of these scores you can change on your green card. But your total emotion is going to define your chances once you manage to get out of the dungeon and you arrive to the place you call home, to have a satisfying and invigorating life till the end of your days. Or in the opposite hand, if you don't have enough emotion, you might be filled with regrets for the rest of your life. I recommend just to put in the middle over the stone, which reminds me of my mother, cards which you want to start with.
So we'll be
go ahead.
putting items in the middle that we want to go with, or just leave behind.
Leave behind, or leave to other players to pick up.
Okay.
You can also trade, like max tab. So ah, the elephant. You want it? Quite good, right?
It is indeed something that he could
Got something for me?
greatly benefit me. Well, how about a donkey? Would you like a donkey? It's a donkey who can sing better than I do, which doesn't really take that much, but I wouldn't say that loud. Ooh, I just did.
I don't know. Anything more sexy? I mean, I'm gonna get out of this dungeon. Everything here was so sparkly. I think I need to reinvent myself a bit. I think I want to look good. I want to look exciting.
So that you look exciting. I cannot possibly give you my fabulous clothes. That's
I don't know. I think they would look great in those.
no. No,
Come
no, no,
on.
no, 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 no,
To-
no, 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 no.
Maybe I will keep the elephant then, huh? Plus,
It would bring me sadness to give my clothes away. Sadness. But I am prepared, however, to depart with the barrel of unending mead. If that would give you a
okay. You
spark.
got a deal. You got a deal.
Oh, wait, hold on a moment. Are we talking about unending mead?
What do you want, the bard? The bard gave it to me.
Oh, why
What do you-
should a small creature like you have a barrel of such precious mead? You can't even taste your own saliva.
I can taste my own saliva.
No, you
he
can't.
It's in the air and swallows it.
So, what does it taste? Tell me, oh precious creature.
As good as this meat.
So, I'm going to approach Stabby McStab Gnome.
A hand crossbow.
Stabby, I have something that might interest you.
What is it?
Look at this small chameleon head. It's pink. And do you know why it's pink? Because it's magical.
It's a stupid animal's head. I don't need that. I mean, what would I do with that?
Well, you can also you can eat it and taste for the first time something in your life, you know?
No, I don't want to put this thing in my mouth. That's disgusting.
You don't know why.
Why don't you? Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you go bother the barb? He's got something for barb. He's got his hammers. That's more your thing.
I grab your clothes and raise you high up in the air and say, "Why the hell you can say barb and bard? Those are two completely different words."
I know, right? Barb and bad.
Ah! I just leave you and punch the walls of the dungeon. Why? Why am I here? Ugh! Are you okay, old lady?
Yes, I'm cool.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes you see, my muscles just pump. It's the rage.
Psst, Stabby.
I'm trying to understand what I'm seeing.
Huh?
Psst, Stabby. Can you please talk to me in a way that nobody else can hear us?
Yeah.
Stabby, what do you think about this invisible cloak? Do you like it?
Like it a lot.
We could get some arrangement here, the both of us.
Sure. What do you want for it?
I'll give you the invisibility cloak, but I want you to do something for me.
Okay.
It's a simple task. I just want you to cut the hair of the barbarian.
You got a deal. No problem. It might be poison in the process, huh? Because my single step killed boring dagger. It's a bit lethal, but yeah. You'll get the air, no problem. The deal.
Can you please remind me, what did we bet?
Oh, what did we bet?
Yeah, what is the price?
A full night of drinks and pleasure.
Does it involve meat as well?
It involves everything in this realm of fiction and fantasy.
Okay. So we have a deal. You can get the cloak, and you'll cut Barb's hair.
You know what? Take that. That will drive the barb crazy. Knowing me, if I give that to you, I know he will be super annoyed. So there, it's yours. The mead. Small to
Okay.
carry it anyway, so
Thank you. Have a deal? Okay.
So, Dorimilio.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, please don't. You can call me just Frith, because I am really fond of you. And the way you use your words reminds me the way that the barbarians use their muscles and their weapons to fight.
Okay. I'm trying to figure that out in my head.
Indeed.
I will get back to you when I finish that process. It'll be
Okay.
a while. Please continue.
So, I see that you have in your possession some hammers that they are harmonious. They smash so harmoniously.
That is correct. They do an absolutely beautiful, soul-touching sound when they smash bones and splash. It's like the splash of blood is like the spark of beautiful sounds of stars in the air.
Indeed.
It is. Death was never so beautiful.
I can totally understand what you're saying. It's like the thing you feel when you kill someone with your own hands, but you can feel it with the sound of those hammers, you know?
More in the lines of what you feel when you sing something from your soul. But okay, I can work with that.
Singing.
Yeah, if that works for you, yes, if that makes you happy, that's fine.
Does singing kills enemies?
Sing that it made them run away sometimes. It doesn't really kill anyone yet. I'm working on it.
I never tried that. My tribe never tried that.
I can show you a couple of songs later, and you can, try and sing them to the enemies, see what happens. It's gonna be interesting.
Well, it could be, but what I really would like now is to wield those hammers and see how they can prove themselves to me to escape this dungeon out. What can I hope for you?
I tell you one thing.
Tell me.
I will gift those hammers to you, and I only want one thing in return. Teensy, weeny, tiny, little thing. You sing me a song.
Sing a song?
Mm.
Oh.
It can be anything.
Right now?
Yes.
Yes, I'll sing you a song. I will prove myself to be worthy of singing a song. So, I will, and he stops thinking. I believe it's like Frith never stops thinking, and it's the first time, maybe in a couple of years. And he's just. So, do you wanna bleed? Gonna take a knee? Are you gonna stand up? I am. Show me what you got before you start to rot. Are you fucking ready? 'Cause I am. Are you ready? And he puts his arms just up, waiting for the crowd. Are you ready? Well, when my ancestors sing this war cry song, we usually say, yes, we are ready! So, let's try it one more time. Do you wanna bleed? Gonna take a knee? Are you going to stand up? I am. Show me what you got before you start to rot. Are you freaking ready? 'Cause I am. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, Bart.
Even the little one is ready.
You all work out. It might not be definitive, but totals and writes it on your green cards of encumbrance, usefulness, and emotion. Those what sparks more joy while dungeon crawling than math.
Math.
Math is the secret of so many dungeon crawling games, role-playing games.
So we can't leave
Crunch.
without more encumbrance items than our encumbrance, right?
No, you cannot. You need. You cannot have in your case. You cannot have more than 16, which is a lot. So
It's a lot. So I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to leave this one. Let me see if I can. 9, 14. Oh, I can have 2. I might bring this thing. Let me. Math.
oh, usefulness 4 for Doremilio. You're not
Yeah.
very useful.
It's all
No, but
about emotion.
Wait a second. You forgot to take into consideration full usefulness.
Oh, okay.
Mechanical elephant. So it's 6. The usefulness you have.
So that would be a 10 in total.
Total usefulness 7. No, 7. 7 in total.
For them. I'm going for them.
Okay. That was not too bad.
Mhm. 11 indeed.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm going to bring my chameleon hat. So I'm going to leave behind also this helmet, and it makes really sense because I want to show my spark of air constantly. I don't need to wear the helmet. It's
Stabby Max Stab gives a wink,
and I'm going
glowing the cleric.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be easy.
and I'm going to leave also the wine gourd that I stole from the Doremilio because it's empty.
Just for everyone's information, your encumbrance factor, it's your maximum encumbrance minus your total encumbrance. So, for instance, Doremilio, you have +2. You got 2 in encumbrance factor.
Okay.
Oh, should we
But
go? Should we go like? Is that does that favor our escape going with
Yes,
plus?
yes.
Oh, okay. That
Help.
yeah. Then I'm going to leave the chameleon head behind because it's pink and I don't understand why it's pink and no one explains me unless Ophora, old lady, please. I have something to ask you that from great urgency.
Ask away.
Okay, so do you have magic to make bear disappear?
I might, if you make it worth my while.
Okay. Second question. Oh yes, I didn't say it was 2 questions, but it are 2 questions. Second question is, why is this chameleon pink?
Maybe it was in love when it died. That's why it's pink.
Oh, but that is sad.
It was happy when it died. It's kind of cool. Could be worse.
So, if you die happy, it's good.
Of course.
So I should
Is it-
make everyone laugh when I'm killing them.
Yes. Make jokes. They'll love it.
I should
They will
make
thank you from the afterlife.
Dor Emilio will teach me jokes. Yes. And I put it again on my loincloth or something. Yeah, I'm going to bring it because that was awesome. So
Looking at Gloin and Ophora, Gloin, it's actually 9 you've got in usefulness because affiliated usefulness with your blessed hammer. Overall, I would recommend trying to be more useful because
I'm
we're
very
trying
useful,
to.
don't worry.
How useful are you, the barbarian?
So 10, 18, 24, I believe.
Wow.
At 24. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Oh no,
twen-
not 24. Let me see if I'm right. I don't believe I'm not right, by the way. So 10, 8 plus 2, 20, 21. It's different.
21. Still very good. I mean, we're gonna make an average between 5 of us. So it seems like the rogue and the barbarian's gonna do all the work. Let me go ahead and calculate that before we decide whether or not we're happy with that. I'm gonna calculate the average. So Ophora, what's your usefulness?
It's the last thing, right? Affiliated
total.
usefulness. Yeah, it's 12 then.
12. Gloin, what's your usefulness?
It's 9.
9.
9.
Plus
Sorry,
for me.
it's not 12, it's 10.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sure, don't forget that you've got some objects which are doubled.
Yeah. So
Oh.
4, 4, 2, 10.
Okay. Okay, mine is
26.
yeah, it's completely outrageous. So yeah, we roll good objects. T1 for the barbarian, and Dor Emilio, what's your usefulness? 7.
7 is very little. I'm not particularly, I'm just a singer.
Okay.
You are emotion.
Yes.
Proving that bards are useless.
All of it.
So that's of 14. So just to give you a taste of what will follow when we try to get out of the dungeon, each of us will have to roll a d20 under or equal to our average party usefulness, so 14. And if there are more people among us who fail than people who succeed, we all die.
Sweet.
So are we happy with 14, or do we want the wizard, the bard, and the cleric to be a bit more useful?
Let's just go with it.
Okay.
I would die from my music.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I'm just
Okay.
Eh,
it's yourself.
We have to
Just-
roll under.
Under or equal.
Under all equal.
Just-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if for instance, I'm just having a quick look. If the wizard was willing to not her magic staff, take back her fragrant components, and wear the loincloth from the barbarian,
It's a beautiful line.
it would raise our usefulness.
eh.
That's a tough choice.
My loincloth is not clean.
Worst case,
So my usefulness has to be higher than 14,
it
or
doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be higher than 14. If you raise yours, hopefully it will raise us. But yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean,
okay.
you could at least recommend to swap your components for your magic staff, because for the same score you would have a +1 in encumbrance factor because it's lighter.
I'll switch my consecrated vestments for the gourmet rations.
Magical. You're wearing cuts, serrano ham on your body.
Well, the beer covers everything, so no problem.
That meat.
You can swap this one. Encumbrance is 11 instead of 12. The +1, and your usefulness is not changed. So it's 5, 7. Oh, wait a minute. It did change for some reason. 5, 7. Yeah, usefulness is 7. I don't know why. Maybe we miscalculated first. 6, 10, 11.
No, it's 10. What do you mean?
0 plus 2 for the cake. 4 for the fragrant components. It's for class.
And please
The
do
slug
not forget to change
7.
my usefulness from 9 to 12, please.
You should part with the slug, to be honest. It's rather encumbering. I mean, it's emotional, but it's a rather encumbering.
Wait, can I get rid of the starting inventory?
Yes, yes, you can read to of whatever you want.
Yeah, because
if it does not spark joy.
Yeah.
But...
Okay.
There's some like good stuff in the board. The spell book, the reliable and crossbow. There are a lot of useful notes, but they don't give emotion.
Yeah, that's the dilemma. The spell book is quite good. Okay, it doesn't give emotion. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. What's the point of surviving if you don't have a invigorating and stimulating life at the end of the day?
Indeed.
It's your call. Fine, are you happy with where you at?
Yes.
Okay, so gonna check. So, usefulness 2, 2, 4. Then keep going to the. So the wizard is at 11 now.
11.
Oh, no, wait, more than that. 13. And emotion, you are 5, 6, 10. 10 in emotion. Encumbrance 7. 10. So we got +2. Right, you're traveling light. You can take more object, an object worth 2 in encumbrance if you want, Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Which gives emotion, maybe.
The starting inventory from the healing kit.
The healing, well, that's for usefulness healing kit, but yeah, she could take, if you want more usefulness, you could take the healing kit, or
I'm thinking about going with the starting inventory because it gives me 4 usefulness.
Yeah.
Magic staff, yeah, okay, up there. So that's 10, 14, 17. Yeah, we're talking now. 17, and emotion, that's
Yeah.
5, 9, 10, 10, and total encumbrance, it's 12, so that's 0, but it's fine. Okay, okay, I'm gonna have a second round, checking with things, so Ophora, you had 17 in usefulness. Groin, what's your usefulness?
12.
12. I have 26. Barb,
The same, 21.
21, and the Barb, you're still 7.
I'm still 7.
Okay. Let me.
He's playing Bard for D&D 2nd edition. So let's see if
Ouch! Wow, nice.
did it raise? Oh,
19,
nice. Okay, yes,
19. So
awesome.
we good. So all happy with what we got?
I'm happy
Yeah.
with I didn't change it, so I'm happy with
Yeah, yeah. You and me, we were
beefy.
beefy.
Oh, I think we
Okay,
lost Bard.
great. It's time for step
Okay.
5, the journey home. Their introspection of the art of inventorying and vast experience mentoring adventurer, there is one thing Paris Gondo can tell us with confidence. A dramatic unpacking of your equipment slot causes correspondingly dramatic changes in your perspective and survival chances. It is truly life-saving. So, first, the random encounters roll. One by one, we're gonna roll a d20. And we need to roll 19 or under, so we should be all right. But who knows? So, Ophora, can you roll a d20 for us, please?
Yes. Let's see if I don't mess it up now.
Don't mess up. 1.
Well,
It's a success.
Great.
It's a success. 8, 1. That's one success for the group. Gloin, 1d20, please.
Yay!
18. Ooh, that was close. 17. Success. That's 3 success. 20.
Should I make another roll? I've made one before. Should I make a new one?
Oh, yeah, make one now.
Okay. So it's a 4.
Yes. Emilio,
Yeah, the 6.
it's a 3.
A
it's a
3.
3, so we all succeeded. For Emilio, explain to us how one of your objects were useful when we encounter something on the way home in the dungeon.
Well, in the dungeon, we managed to find a little remnant of the goblins that were guarding the place, and they were looking at us very suspiciously. I don't know if it was the blood all over us or blooded weapons, the dodgy singing. I don't know. I have no idea what it was, but they were looking at us a bit. So I thought, you know what? I'm happy. I think we've done really amazingly well. So I said to them, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. And I started to play my xylophone with them. And I said to the barbarian, dude, let's get the meat out. Let's have a party with the goblins. Let's give them some meat.
I don't have
Because-
meat.
Where's the barrel of meat? Oh, you gnome. Come on, crack the meat open. And let's just have fun with the goblins, let's because at some point, if we're gonna come back and if we're gonna have an amazing clubbing here, we're gonna need cleaners and we're going to need bouncers and we're going to need dancers to be on the stage dancing and doing all funky stuff. And these people are going to need a job, and they know the place. I'm sure they're trustworthy. So, I just used my xylophone to play some songs, and then the meat that we found to get them a little bit drunk and a little bit happy, and we just, avoided another fight using those things.
Amazing. Frith, tell us how you save the group from something using one of your objects.
So, following up with Doremilio, somehow we messed up with the goblins. We offended them. And they were going to rip our flesh from bone and cook it and eat it. Until me, Frith, the smartest barbarian of the mountains, realized something. I overheard goblins talking about the pinky relic. So I presented the glorious and very useful the small chameleon head, the pinky. And why is it pink? Now that made the goblin stop. And they hold the pink relic. I gave it to them, and they allow us to pass. The ancient goblin, before we were continue our way, he told us why the small chameleon head is pink. Because love is the way out.
Great. As
Whatever
we,
that
as you were saying that, the VMAX tab is kind of emotional of what you were explaining, and he was stroking the melomaniac donkey, which he salvaged because the bath was about to abandon that melomaniac donkey who had faithfully followed him all the way through the dungeon. But Stabby Maxtab saved the donkey. Stroking the donkey with melomaniac, the donkey started barking, a romantical comedy to add to the mood of the goblins. Gloin, tell us how you and one of your objects saved us from a peril in that dungeon.
When we are fighting the boss from the dungeon, the disco dungeon, I opened the barrel of unending mead, and I filled a huge mug of mead, and he felt the smell of it, and he started salivating. He dropped his weapons and he ran to grab the mug, and just kept drinking and drinking and drinking till he fall down completely drunk, and that was the way that we defeated him.
Great. Thora, how did you save the group from imminent peril with one of your objects?
What's fragrant components? Where are they?
It's the things you use to throw spells.
Okay.
So yeah, it can be anything really. It can be spices, sulfur, this sort of things.
like ingredient. Think of something like that.
Something in 5e which nobody uses. It's
Unfortunately,
specified.
every time I cast, now I can't remember. Prismatic thing. Prismatic.
Prism?
No, it's not. No, it's the one that make illusions. Well,
Orb?
I can't remember now. It's an illusion that uses the component of incense stick. I always say that I grab incense sticks and throw it to the air. I can't remember. It's not prismatic, but it's very colorful. Anyway,
Thora.
yeah.
I'm thinking
Read that.
about using my slug.
Yeah.
As in, I was teaching the slug how to say a few spells. I had the spell book with me, and I was reading to it. And obviously, it didn't quite want it, but because I annoyed it so much, it decided to say a tiny spell, which made all the enemies that were surrounding us, that we had no idea they were there, fall asleep. And yeah, that's why. That's how the
Amazing.
slug saved us.
The slug saved us.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. We as a group managed to survive. Now we're gonna work out if any of us died individually. So we're gonna start with Ophora. Ophora, you got an encumbrance factor of 0. That means you need to roll a d20 and you need to roll 10 or above. And you have no bonus to your roll. It's a saving throw.
Good luck. Wow.
20.
Ophora
Amazing.
critted twice. I mean,
Survived. You were not holding. You were not carrying too much, so you are fine. Gloin, roll me a d20. You don't have an encumbrance factor bonus, so 10 or above.
That went fine.
7. 7. Gloin the cleric, sadly you perished on the way home because you've been carrying too much. So
The
how-
mead.
tell us how the meat killed you, because it was too heavy a burden, or more it attracted something. Why did you perish?
Well, I'll say one time the meat saved us from the boss, and the second time it attracted it to follow us, and he found me with the meat, and he just struck me with his weapon, and I just fell down completely dead.
Oh, knowing the cleric, your mead was your end. My turn. See if Stabi Max up carrying too much. 11. Barely survived.
barely survived.
Regret taking that maniac donkey so far.
Well, Frith the myth. Never Frith the myth shall fall. Never.
17, you survived.
I continue to survive.
Remilio, you got a +2 to your roll, so 8 or above.
Okay.
Don't fall, Dormilio, or I will cry.
Ooh, you survived also. Okay. So we all made it out of the dungeon except Gloin the cleric, sadly. We all went to wherever we consider home, or where we want to end our days. But
Can I
it's
bring?
time to
Sorry,
find out.
can I bring
sure.
with me the bird?
Can we loot the body?
No, I'll bring the bird because I will drink with it. I mean, on my side.
Oh.
Yeah, because
Wait,
what?
it was our bet. I will bring the dwarf's bird with me.
Oh, the beard thing.
The
Yeah,
beard.
the beard.
Beard,
Sorry,
oh.
I can't say beard. Apparently,
It's fine.
the beard. Yes, I will bring his beard and say, "You have lost your bet." Stupid bet.
definitely. Actually, it can be part of this round. Find out. Definitely integrate that to the result of this one. Okay, let's start with you to do that. We're gonna find out whether you had an invigorating life for the rest of your days. So roll me a d20, and you need to roll 14 or under.
Oh, that's why emotion is very important. So, what happens when we roll higher?
Yeah. Okay. So, plus,
You live
Bob,
miserable.
tell us why, though you survived the dungeon, was at the end of your days there was something which you were never quite satisfied. There was always an emptiness of some kind, or something which makes you sad or frustrated. What was it?
Okay.
Why didn't you have a stimulating and invigorating life till the end of your days?
Yeah, awesome. So this will all circle back. The entire time of the journey for the Frith the Bard, somehow fictional directions were not directions, arrows. Fictional arrows were pointing to the word love. So when Gloin died, he realized that he was in love with Gloin. And the sadness of seeing him part away made him realize why he would constantly fight with him, why we would be constantly at his side, drinking, gaming, and stuff like that. He realized that he loved him in a way that none other barbarian in the tribe loved another man before. So it was not worth it. It was worth the journey through revealing that, but he's not here anymore. So he holds the beard forever, and there isn't any amount of drink, ale, mead, or any kind of pleasure that could give his happiness grow or back again.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
So
sad.
sad.
it's very sad.
My turn to roll for Stabby Maxtab. 14, 13, 14 or under. 9. Well, things turned out quite well for Stabby Maxtab. He ended up having a life. He was still active as a rogue, but didn't really enjoy his profession as much, using a single stab kill, very boring dagger. The work was too easy, so he was not fulfilled by his work life anymore. But he did retire, very happy to have kept Melomaniac Donkey him. He had not realized it, but the reason the journey through the dungeon was worth it was for him to find out that love with this donkey. T 10 or under.
Sorry?
Fora?
Yeah.
D20, you need 10 or under.
Yeah, it's holding for the emotion.
19. Fora, apparently you left something in the dungeon to which you had been very attached, and you were filled with regret till the end of your days. What was it? What have you left behind? What was your big regret as you ended your life?
Sakurun is like very sad. She's like, why?
I'm miserable.
Yes.
Is it an object or is it like something that I can come up with? Anything?
Whatever inspires you.
What?
Whatever inspires you.
Oh. I am sad because once we killed the noble, he had this really beautiful tea set with mugs and plates and stuff, and we left it behind, and I was very sad about it because I really wanted it. It fit perfectly on my table thing in my woods house.
In your chambers.
Yes.
That's a thing I could definitely someone have regrets for the rest of their life.
The chamber is forever incomplete.
Yeah.
Set is not there. Finally, and last but not least, 11 in emotion. D20, you need to roll 11 or under.
Please. All well.
Okay. Oops. Okay.
7. Amazing, we finish on a happy end.
Yes.
Plus, the story of Dor Emilio, who had a stimulating and invigorating life till the end of his days. What made him so satisfied when he passed away?
Well, I continued the competition that actually discovered me, and from that, since I came back to the village, every single year we held the Village Got Talent competition, and I set up a barding academy where people learn how to do bard things. So everyone remembers me for spreading a lot of xylophone music throughout the realm.
The land of xylophones.
Yeah,
Doo, 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 doo.
absolutely. That's the only instrument allowed in the village Got Talent. That's that's the only thing.
Great. That's it for step 5. Time for step 6, the very final bit of it. So, tell me, does anyone have anything to add about our adventures, about the end and the legacy left by those adventurers?
Well, I could.
I had something to say. You cannot trust rogues. They do not keep their arrangements.
That's true. That's true. Yet
Well,
he lived a happy and fulfilling life, not remembering the promise he made to you.
I could say that I imagine Frith going from time to time to Ofora, asking always the same question. Do you know already? And when he asks if you know already or do you know it now, it's because this is the first time after the dungeon when he came to you and he asked if you know a spell to make people to make dead people come back, and you said like no. So he's coming back from time to time. Do you know it now? You say no.
No, but you can make a tiny pillow with your friend's beard and sleep on it.
It's not. It's not the same. I sleep in the ground, clutching his hairs, his beard hairs, beard hairs, whatever the name is, and think about how joyful life was when he was alive. Yeah. Not even the show from Doremilio Got Talent gives him joy. It's very sad. But he likes to drink with Doremilio in the taverns.
Well,
Amazing. Well, that's it. That was Paris Gondo, the life-saving heart of Inventorying. Thank you very much for playing. I hope you had fun.
that was good fun.
Yeah, indeed. Very interesting. When a player sees the life-saving magic of inventorying, it's very easy to start expecting a game with a lot of mechanics and a game with a lot of boring stuff that usually inventorying is. But it isn't. It's a very narrative game, very storytelling game also. Beautiful.
Next time, I will let you make the total and average.
The total and average. Which total?
The party, the calculations.
Yeah.
It would have been more boring without me helping you with the math.
No problem. It was all good. So yeah, this was the first stream playtest of Paris Gondo. This is the time where we give some shout outs. So let's start with Cristiano. Cristiano, I know that you are still developing your game, but if there's anything you would like to share, now it's the time.
Okay, it's still being polished. I consider it almost finished. There's only a part about making it more beautiful, because right now it's just a text. It needs some heart and arranged to be presented to the public. And I hope to finish it soon. So if any one of you who can read Portuguese and want to try it, it's in Itch.io. Mystic Spell, it is me. The name of the game is Fadario. And if you want to try it, please get it there. And by the way, I would like to take this opportunity to thank every one of you for inviting me for this session. That I really enjoyed it. It was not what I was expecting, but it really surpassed my expectations. So, Cullen, congratulations for your work,
Thank you very much.
and keep it okay.
Awesome. Very nice,
Awesome.
very nice. So let's swap to our beautiful Sakruna. So Sakruna, tell us a little about of yourself and where can we find your incredible work?
Uh, so Sakrun is my artistic name, and you can find my illustrations on Instagram mostly under that name. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was sketching a little bit during this session, and
Oh,
yeah,
Oh.
it was a really fun game.
nice, nice, nice. So you can check Sakruna at instagram.com/Sakruna. Or I believe you can also find her at Twitter. Yes, yes, at Twitter.
Yes, though I rarely post there,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So Instagram is the place where you can watch the incredible and talented illustrations of Sakruna, and let's then swap to the other side of the table. Our beautiful and the most glorious bard ever, Paco.
Well, you can find me in gmsmagazine.com. I am in Twitter way too much, way too much, as GMS Magazine, and also the Facebook page. And check out Game on Tabletop soon, where I'm going to be crowdfunding a Lovecraftian campaign setting based in El Campo de Gibraltar, in the area where I was born. A book that's going to be called Campo de Mitos. And I think that's going to be a pretty cool thing. I'm looking forward to that. And congratulations, Kalum, for this, because this has been a really, really interesting and really good fun experience. So that, yeah. I think you're onto something with this.
Thank you. Well, thanks everyone for joining. It's very nice to have you all, and I must say the pleasure of developing this is meeting so many people or having an opportunity to play with people I knew for a while but had not played with yet. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So, Kalum, tell us where we can find you and all the incredible stuff you do regarding Paris, also Paris Gondo.
Yeah, so there's a Twitter account for Paris Gondo, so it's at Paris Gondo, quite simply. There's also a Twitter account for myself, Rolist Pod, which is the account for the Rolistes Podcast. You can find a number of different shows, including one. We got a YouTube channel. Our last guest was telling me about a very interesting. Was telling me about a game set in Campo, somewhere near Gibraltar.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see Paco explaining a bit more about this game, you can find him there. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, and yeah, if you go on the rollispod.com, just type the Rolistes Podcast, you'll find our website. You will find details about Paris Gondo, my different shows, news, and there you can find links to the newsletter for the Rolistes Podcast, where you find everything I do. There you will have a monthly update about it. Otherwise, you can subscribe to the newsletter for Paris Gondo. You will have updates only about the game, so you're not bothered by the rest. And finally, you can find a sign-up form, join one of the many online sessions I'm running. So if you feel that, you will let me know this way. Interest, what's your time zone, and when you prefer to play. And since I'm in lockdown, hopefully I will be able to offer you and your friends an online session of Paris Gondo. And yeah, that's it. I hope to release a quick start PDF on drive-through by the end of the year for Dragon Meat.
Nice.
And after that, yeah, we'll try to do a Kickstarter in 2021 somewhere. Something like that. We'll see. We'll see. The playtests have been encouraging so far, so see.
Sweet.
Sure.
Very
So
sweet.
much, Andre, for having me.
Good job, Kalum. So, yeah, we are very eager to see both versions. So, quick start edition or version at the end of the year for Dragon Meat. Hopefully, it will happen. And Kickstarter of Paris Gondo at 2021. We are very eager to see how beautiful the Kickstarter will be, and to see those stretch goals achieved, all of them achieved. Let's make it happen. And by the way, Callum, really good job on this game. Very interesting the way you've designed some of the things. It's a new perspective regarding the inventorying and how items impact both the adventures and the adventure itself. So good job. Keep going with the good work.
Thank you. No, Miro, I think it would be quite good if you had a game where you need tokens in the shape of corn seed, for instance. It could be nice to run something like Dirty Town. So if you do that, let me know. I'd really love to join you for a session.
Okay, I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen for sure. Okay, so if does anyone have something to add, or can we end the stream? Does anyone want to add anything? No? Yes, good. Are we good? Yes.
You're
Good.
good.
It's quite late in London, so
Yeah. So, thank you everyone who has been watching our live stream of Paris Gondo. The very first time this game is being streamed. It's still in playtest, so expect to see the quick start and Kickstarter editions with some polishing. If you want to playtest, contact Kalum or contact the Roliste. If you want beautiful art, go check Sacruna. If you want incredible content, check Paco. And if you want to play a Portuguese game, talk with Cristiano and he will somehow make it happen with you. Anyway, if you like roleplay content, you can also check from time to time this Twitch channel, and this stream will go to the YouTube channel. We also have. And yeah, it's any type of content from actual plays to conversations, interviews, shows about design, shows about whatever we feel we want to make regarding the role-playing scene. And yeah, with everything said, thank you. All the links will be in the doobly-doo description thing of the YouTube video. So thank you, everyone, and see you in the next time. Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
Yay!